All right, so let's just dive right into one of the biggest nights in football.
Yeah.
The 2024 Ballon d'Or Awards. We've got 3 great sources to dig into tonight.
Right.
We've got the Wikipedia entry on the event,
Right.
a power rankings piece from Golb.com,
Interesting.
and a really interesting live blog from the Daily Mail.
Okay.
So this is going to be a good one.
Looking forward to it.
This isn't just about the trophies.
Right.
We're talking surprise wins,
Wow.
a dramatic team boycott,
Wow.
and rankings that have got everyone talking.
Sounds like a fun night.
Yeah. So let's get started with the men's award.
Okay.
Rodri wins it this year,
He did.
becoming the first Premier League player to do so since Ronaldo in 2008.
Wow, that's a long time.
It is
Yeah.
16 years.
Yeah.
Is this a sign of a power shift?
Yeah.
With the Premier League finally getting some recognition
It could.
to match its global influence?
Yeah, it's definitely a statement.
Yeah.
Especially considering how the Premier League has been dominating in the Champions League lately.
Yeah.
But I think we have to address the elephant in the room,
Yeah.
or rather the elephant that's missing from the room.
Right.
Real Madrid's entire squad boycotted the ceremony,
It did.
convinced that Vinicius Junior was robbed
Yeah.
of the award.
It's hard to argue with Vinicius' stats this year.
It is.
24 goals,
Oh.
11 assists,
That's impressive.
and a trophy haul that includes both the Champions League and La Liga titles.
Yeah.
Carlo Ancelotti even predicted that Vinicius would win earlier this year.
Oh, wow.
This boycott isn't just a protest.
No.
This is a power move.
It is.
It really raises questions about the voting process,
Yeah.
the influence of club allegiances,
Mm.
and even the future relationship between Real Madrid and France football.
Yeah. This could have serious consequences.
Definitely. But before we get too deep into the boycott,
Okay.
let's take a look at some other surprising results.
Okay.
Phil Foden, who had an amazing season with Man City,
He did.
ended up in 11th place.
Really?
Yeah,
That's shockingly low.
I think so.
Wow.
It makes me wonder if the voters are prioritizing international performance more heavily than domestic achievements.
It's possible.
Foden was brilliant in the Premier League.
He was.
He even won PFA Players Player of the Year.
Right.
But maybe his Euro showing wasn't impactful enough.
Yeah. That's something to consider for sure.
Yeah, and then you have Ademola Lookman,
Okay.
who plays for Atalanta,
Right?
making a strong showing in the rankings.
He did.
So this could signal that the Ballon d'Or is becoming more global
Okay.
in its recognition of talent,
Yeah.
moving beyond the traditional powerhouse clubs.
I like that.
And even with the boycott,
Yeah.
Real Madrid still had players in the top 10.
They did?
Jude Bellingham
Yeah.
landed right up there.
He's so talented.
I know, it's amazing.
Imagine if the entire team had been there.
Right.
Could he have placed even higher?
It's a good question.
It really speaks to his talent
It does.
and the impact he's had at Real Madrid.
Immediate impact.
Yeah.
So let's not forget about the other awards handed out tonight.
Okay.
We've got the Copa Trophy,
Yeah.
highlighting the young stars who are going to be the future Ballon d'Or contenders.
Right.
Players like Alejandro Garnacho
Yeah.
already making waves at Man U.
He is.
And then there's Lamine Yamal,
Oh, wow.
17 years old,
17.
and already in the men's top 10.
That's incredible.
That's unheard of.
It is.
You know, that reminds me of a conversation I had with a friend of mine
Oh, yeah.
who coaches youth football.
Okay.
We can talk about that later.
Yeah. Let's get back to the Copa Trophy.
Right.
Don't forget about Johnny Simons
All right.
shining at PSV.
Yeah.
And Florian Wirtz.
Right.
What everyone's saying is the next big thing in German football.
So many young talents
I know.
vying for that award.
It's going to be a tight race.
Okay, moving on to the goalkeepers.
Right.
The Yashin Trophy, always a tight race.
It is.
We've got Emiliano Martinez,
Yeah.
last year's winner,
Right.
looking to defend his title
Okay.
against some strong contenders like Donnarumma.
Yeah. He's tough competition.
The Yashin Trophy is a great reminder that football is about more than just scoring goals.
It is.
Goalkeepers are the last line of defense,
Right.
and their contributions are finally getting the recognition they deserve.
It's about time.
Now let's talk about a brand new addition to the Ballon d'Or ceremony,
Okay.
the Coach of the Year Awards
wow.
for both men's and women's football.
That's great.
We've got some big names in the running.
Like who?
Pep Guardiola,
Okay.
Sonia Bonpastor, and Arthur Elias.
Wow. That's a great addition.
I think it is.
It recognizes how important coaches are to
Yeah.
shaping the game.
For sure.
They're the masterminds behind the tactics,
Right.
the mentors for the players,
Yeah.
often the unsung heroes
They are.
behind a team's success.
Yeah, it's great to see their contributions celebrated.
Yeah, alongside the individual player achievements.
Absolutely. Now,
Okay.
before we dive into the full ranking rundown,
Okay.
we need to circle back
Right.
to that Real Madrid boycott
Yeah.
and really unpack what it means.
Agreed.
It's a bold move,
It is.
and one that could have far-reaching consequences
For sure.
for both Real Madrid and the Ballon d'Or itself.
Let's break down the rationale
Yeah.
and explore the potential ripple effects.
Okay, so Real Madrid feels Vinicius was robbed.
Right.
And they're not just letting it slide, they're
Right.
making a statement.
A big one?
Their perspective is that individual brilliance
Mhm.
should be recognized, even if it doesn't always translate to the top team trophy.
Interesting take.
Do you think they have a point?
It's complicated.
Yeah.
On the one hand,
Yeah,
Vinicius was incredible last season.
he was.
His contributions were key to Real Madrid's success
They were.
in both La Liga and the Champions League.
Right.
On the other hand, the Ballon d'Or has always been about more than just individual stats.
Right. It's about a player's overall impact, their influence on the game,
Exactly.
and their contribution to team achievements.
That's right.
It's worth noting that this boycott really throws a wrench into things
It does.
for future Ballon d'Or ceremonies.
Yeah. How so?
Could this lead to changes in the voting process?
Hmm.
Could it even affect how players view the award itself?
That's a good question.
We've got a lot to unpack here.
We do.
But before we go down that rabbit hole,
Okay.
let's take a look at the actual rankings. We'll
Yeah.
start with the men's list,
Sounds good.
going all the way from 30th to 1st.
Oh, wow. Buckle up.
This isn't just a list of names.
No.
It's a snapshot of the current state of football
Right?
and a glimpse into the future of the game.
I like that.
Okay, at the very bottom,
Okay.
we have a tie for 30th place.
All right. Who is it?
Mats Hummels,
Okay.
the seasoned defender who found a new home at Roma,
Mm-hmm.
and Artem Dovbyk, the striker who led Girona to an unexpectedly successful season.
Oh, good for them.
Dovbyk's inclusion is particularly intriguing.
Yeah. Why is that?
It shows that the voters are recognizing players who are making a significant impact,
Right?
even if they aren't playing for the traditional powerhouse clubs.
That's great to see.
Then we have Cole Palmer at 25th,
Okay.
his first time in the ranking.
Oh, wow.
This marks his potential as a rising star for Chelsea.
Good for him.
Right behind him
Oh.
are two more Premier League players.
Oh, wow.
Declan Rice, now with Arsenal,
Yep.
at 26th,
Okay.
and Vitinha from PSG at 27th.
All right.
It seems like Premier League talent is getting some serious recognition this year.
It does. It's a sign of the times.
Yeah,
The Premier League is attracting the best young players in the world,
it is.
and their performances are catching the eye of the Ballon d'Or voters.
For sure. It's also interesting to see how these rankings reflect the shifting dynamics
Yeah.
within the league itself,
Okay.
with Arsenal and Chelsea making their presence.
Interesting.
And let's not forget about the defenders.
Right.
Alex Grimaldo from Bayer Leverkusen comes in at 28th,
Okay.
while Ruben Dias from Man City sits at 23rd.
Right.
It's good to see defensive contributions getting some love.
It is a solid defense is the foundation of any successful team.
It is.
And it's great to see players like Grimaldo and Dias getting the recognition they deserve.
Yeah,
They might not score as many goals as the forwards,
true.
but their contributions are just as crucial.
And speaking of crucial contributions,
Yeah.
William Saliba,
Okay.
a rock in Arsenal's defense,
Yes.
lands at 24th.
Good for him.
Then we've got a trio of Premier League stars.
Guy.
Bukayo Saka at 21st,
Right.
Martin Odegaard at 19th,
Okay.
and Emiliano Martinez
Yeah.
holding it down for the goalkeepers at 18th.
Oh, with so many talented young players.
There are.
What stands out to you so far
Hmm.
in these rankings?
Honestly, I'm still trying to wrap my head around Phil Foden at 11th. I mean, the guy was phenomenal for Man City last season.
He was.
But seeing so many Premier League players represented this year is exciting.
It is.
It feels like a real shift in the football landscape.
It does.
If we connect this to the bigger picture,
Yeah.
it seems like Premier League clubs are not only attracting top talent,
Right.
but also creating an environment where players can thrive
Hmm.
and achieve individual recognition
Yeah.
on a global scale.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's keep rolling with the rankings.
All right.
At 20th, we have Hakan Çalhanoğlu,
Oh.
the vital part of Inter Milan's midfield,
Yes.
followed by Martin Odegaard,
Yeah.
the captain of Arsenal,
Right.
at 19th.
Okay.
Çalhanoğlu and Odegaard represent the beating heart of their respective teams.
They do?
They're the ones who dictate the tempo,
Mm-hmm.
orchestrate attacks,
Yeah,
and make things happen on the pitch.
for sure.
Their high rankings show that creative midfielders
Right.
are finally getting the recognition they deserve.
It's about time.
And just ahead of them, at 18th,
Okay.
is Emiliano Martinez,
Right.
the Aston Villa goalkeeper,
Yeah.
who continues to prove himself as one of the best in the world.
He does.
Martinez's ranking is a great reminder that goalkeeping is just as crucial as scoring goals.
Absolutely.
His performances for both club and country have been nothing short of exceptional.
They have.
Moving into the top 15,
Okay.
we have Federico Valverde from Real Madrid at 17th,
All right.
followed by another Real Madrid player,
Oh, wow.
Granit Xhaka, at 16th.
Interesting.
Valverde and Xhaka highlight the depth of talent at Real Madrid,
Yeah.
even in a season where they didn't quite reach their usual level of dominance,
Right.
and the surprises keep coming.
Oh,
At 15th, we have Nico Williams
okay.
from Athletic Bilbao,
All right.
and right behind him at 14th
Yeah.
is Ademola Lookman from Atalanta.
Okay.
Williams and Lookman are fantastic examples of players who've exceeded expectations
They are.
and made a significant impact for their clubs. Their high rankings are a testament to their individual brilliance
For sure.
and their crucial roles in their team's successes.
Absolutely.
And that brings us to the edge of the top 10.
Ooh.
But we'll have to pause here for now.
Okay.
The anticipation is killing me.
I know. We'll be back soon.
To unveil the top 10
Right.
in the men's Ballon d'Or rankings.
Okay.
And finally reveal the winner
Yeah.
of the women's Ballon d'Or.
Can't wait. All right. I'm ready for this top 10.
Okay, let's do it.
Who else made the cut?
Well, in 13th place, we've got Dani Olmo.
Oh, yeah.
He started the season with RB Leipzig,
Okay.
but made a move back home to Barcelona after the season ended.
Interesting.
Kind of throws a wrench into the whole club affiliation thing, doesn't it?
It does make you think about how the voters weigh a player's performance
Yeah,
across different teams.
right.
In Olmo's case, it seems they were impressed enough
Mm-hmm.
with his overall quality
Yeah.
to overlook the midseason switch.
Right behind him at 12th is another German-based player, Florian Wirtz,
Oh, yeah.
the Bayer Leverkusen midfielder,
Right.
who's been drawing comparisons to some of Germany's all-time greats.
He has.
Is he the real deal,
Mm.
or is it too early to tell?
I think Wirtz has that spark,
Yeah.
that creativity in the midfield.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard to find.
It is.
He's already a key player for Leverkusen
He is.
and a rising star for the German national team.
Definitely.
Don't be surprised if we see him battling for the top spot in a few years.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
But before we get to the top 10,
Yeah.
we have to talk about the elephant in the room.
Right.
Or rather, the missing elephant,
Right.
Phil Foden.
Yeah.
After a season that saw him win both the PFA Players Player of the Year
Mm-hmm.
and the Premier League Player of the Year,
He did.
only managed 11th place.
I know.
What happened there?
It's a head-scratcher.
It is.
You'd think those accolades
Yeah.
would guarantee a higher spot.
Right.
Maybe it comes down to the types of awards.
Hmm.
Domestic recognition is great.
Yeah.
But perhaps the Ballon d'Or voters
Right.
place a higher value on international performance.
It's a good point.
Foden didn't have the most standout European championship. But maybe that played a role.
It's possible.
Okay, enough suspense.
Yeah.
Let's get to that top 10.
All right, let's hear it.
Starting us off in 10th place
Okay.
is none other than Lamine Yamal.
17 years old.
Can you believe it?
I can't.
The youngest player ever
Wow.
to crack the top 10.
This kid is special.
He is.
You mentioned that conversation you had
Oh, right.
with your friend who coaches youth football.
Yeah.
What was that about?
He was saying how Yamal's emergence is inspiring a whole new generation of young players.
Oh, wow.
It's like they're seeing that anything is possible,
Yeah.
no matter how young you are.
That's amazing.
Okay, in 9th place,
Really?
even with the boycott,
Yeah.
we've got Vinicius Junior.
Real Madrid might not have been there in person,
Yep.
but their statement was definitely heard. Vinicius' talent is undeniable,
It is.
and the voters clearly recognize that,
Mm-hmm.
even amidst the controversy.
And look who's in 8th place. Toni Kroos.
Wow.
Still going strong in the Real Madrid midfield.
Kroos is like a fine wine.
He is.
He just keeps getting better with age.
I know.
His vision, his passing,
Yeah.
his ability to control the tempo of a game.
It's amazing.
He's a true maestro.
Next up in 7th place, we have Harry Kane,
Oh, yeah.
who made a big move to Bayern Munich this year.
He did.
And it seems to have paid off.
It does.
Kane is a goal-scoring machine,
He is.
and he's already making a huge impact in the Bundesliga.
I bet.
And now for 6th place,
Okay.
Erling Haaland.
Wow. Some people might be surprised he's not higher.
I think so.
But you can't argue with his goal-scoring record.
You can't.
Haaland is a force of nature.
He is.
He just scores goals for fun.
For fun.
But maybe the voters were looking for something more than just individual stats.
Right.
Perhaps a major international trophy. Yeah. Was missing from his resume this year.
Interesting.
It makes you think about what really matters.
It does.
When it comes to the Ballon d'Or.
Okay, 5th place goes to another Real Madrid star.
All right.
Dani Carvajal.
Carvajal is a rock at right back.
He is.
He's been a key part of Real Madrid's success for years.
He has.
And he's one of the best defenders in the world.
And in 4th place,
Okay.
Kylian Mbappe.
Wow.
He finally got his big money move to Real Madrid this year,
He did.
but didn't actually make his debut for them
Right.
until after the Ballon d'Or award period ended.
Okay.
Technically, he's still listed as a PSG player.
Interesting.
Mbappe is a generational talent.
He is.
He's got pace skill
Yeah.
and an eye for goal that's almost unmatched.
It's going to be interesting to see how he fares in next year's rankings.
It is.
Now that he's playing for Real Madrid.
Okay, here's where the real nail-biting begins.
Oh, boy.
In 3rd place, we have Lautaro Martinez,
Yeah.
the Inter Milan striker.
Marquinhos is a clinical finisher.
He is
He's been lethal in front of goal for Inter Milan,
so good.
and his high ranking is well-deserved.
And in 2nd place,
Right.
Jude Bellingham.
Another Real Madrid player making waves.
I know, it's crazy.
Despite the boycott,
It is?
Bellingham's second-place finish is absolutely incredible,
It is.
especially considering he's only 20 years old.
I know, so young.
His performances for both Borussia Dortmund and Real Madrid
Yeah,
have been phenomenal.
they have.
This kid is the future.
So that means
Yeah.
the winner of the 2024 Ballon d'Or is
Drum roll, please.
Rodri.
A well-deserved win for Rodri.
It is.
His performances for both Manchester City and Spain this past season
Yeah.
were simply outstanding.
They were?
He controlled the midfield, dictated the tempo,
Yep.
and played a pivotal role
He did.
in their Champions League and European Championship triumphs.
And now for the moment we've all been waiting for.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
The winner of the Ballon d'Or Feminine is
Tell me.
Aitana Bonmati.
Mohamed.
This is her 2nd win in a row,
Wow.
cementing her legacy
Yeah.
as one of the greatest female players of all time.
Bonmati is a true icon.
She is.
Her dominance in midfield, her vision, her passing range,
Yeah.
and her ability to control the game
It's incredible.
are truly exceptional.
They are.
She's a role model for aspiring young players all over the world.
Now that we've got the big winners out of the way,
Right.
let's take a closer look at the full rankings
Okay.
and see if any patterns emerge.
Sounds good to me.
I'm curious to see how the rest of the list shakes out.
Me too.
We already talked about the bottom half of the men's rankings,
We did.
but it's worth revisiting those names
Right.
in the context of the full list.
Okay.
All right, so starting again from the bottom,
Right.
we have Mats Hummels and Artem Dovbyk tied for 30th, followed by Alex Grimaldo at 28th,
Okay.
Vitinha at 27th, Declan Rice at 26th,
Okay.
and Cole Palmer at 25th.
Okay.
It's a diverse group with players from different leagues and positions.
It shows that the Ballon d'Or is truly a global award,
It does.
recognizing talent from all corners of the footballing world.
Then we have William Saliba at 24th,
Okay.
Ruben Dias at 23rd, Bukayo Saka at 21st,
Right.
Hakan Çalhanoğlu at 20th,
Yep.
Martin Odegaard at 19th,
Okay.
and Emiliano Martinez at 18th.
Right.
Starting to see a lot more Premier League representation here.
Absolutely.
The Premier League is clearly a hotbed of talent right now.
It is.
Moving into the top 15, we have Federico Valverde at 17th,
Okay.
Granit Xhaka at 16th, Nico Williams at 15th,
Right.
Ademola Lookman at 14th,
Yep.
and then Phil Foden,
Yeah.
who, as we discussed,
Right.
surprised many with his 11th place finish.
Foden's ranking is still a talking point.
He is.
He had a brilliant season.
He did.
But perhaps the voters were looking for more than just domestic success.
Right. It goes back to that question of
Yeah.
whether international achievements hold more weight in the Ballon d'Or voting.
And then, of course, we have that incredible top 10.
Yeah.
Lamine Yamal at 10th.
Yeah.
Vinicius Junior at 9th.
Uh-huh.
Toni Kroos at 8th.
Right.
Harry Kane at 7th.
Mm-hmm.
Erling Haaland at 6th.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dani Carvajal at 5th.
Right.
Kylian Mbappe at 4th.
Yeah.
Lautaro Martinez at 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Jude Bellingham at 2nd.
Yep.
And, of course, Rodri taking the top spot.
What a lineup.
It is.
A mix of established superstars
Yeah.
and young players who are just starting to make their mark on the game.
It's a testament to the incredible talent
It is.
that exists in football right now.
And the fact that 2 Real Madrid players finished so high,
I know.
despite the boycott,
Crazy.
really says something.
It does.
It shows that individual brilliance can still shine through,
Yeah.
even amidst controversy.
Now, before we move on to our final thoughts,
Yeah.
let's check back in on the women's rankings.
Okay, so we know Aitana Bonmati took home the trophy
Yes.
for the 2nd year running, but who else impressed the voters?
Good question.
Let's start from the bottom.
Okay.
Grace Guilloro from Paris Saint-Germain at 30th,
Right.
Iwa Pajor from Wolfsburg at 29th,
Okay.
and Lauren Hemp from Manchester City at 28th.
It's fantastic to see players from different leagues represented.
It is.
The women's game is truly global, and these rankings reflect that.
Then we have Manuela Giuliano from Roma at 27th,
Okay.
Yui Hasegawa from Manchester City at 26th,
Mm-hmm.
Shoke Nuskin from Chelsea at 25th,
Right.
Leah Schuler from Bayern Munich at 24th,
Okay.
Tarsian from the Houston Dash at 23rd,
All right.
and Glodis Vigos Dorier from Bayern Munich at 22nd.
The strength of the Women's Super League,
Yeah.
the NWSL and the Frauen Bundesliga, is evident here.
It is.
These leagues are attracting top talent
They are.
and pushing the women's game to new heights.
And in 21st place,
Okay.
we have Mayra Ramirez,
Oh, yeah.
who played for both Levante and Chelsea last season.
Ramirez is a versatile and talented forward.
She is.
Her ability to adapt to different leagues and playing styles is impressive.
So as we wrap up this roller coaster ride
Yeah.
through the 2024 Ballon d'Or Awards,
Right.
what are your final thoughts?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway
Yeah.
is that football is a constantly evolving story.
Mm-hmm.
New stars are rising.
Yeah.
Old powers are being challenged.
Right.
And the conversation about what defines greatness is more complex than ever.
For sure.
The Ballon d'Or is more than just a trophy.
It is.
It's a reflection of the passion, the drama,
Yeah.
and the ever-changing landscape of this beautiful game.
And this year's awards have been a perfect example of that.
They have.
From surprise winners to controversial boycotts, we've seen it all.
But that's what makes football so captivating, isn't it?
It is.
The unpredictability, the debates,
Yeah.
and the shared love of the sport that unites fans around the world.
Absolutely. And even though the ceremony is over,
Right.
the conversation continues.
It does.
We want to hear from you, our listener. Yeah.
Who would you have chosen for the Ballon d'Or?
Mm-hmm.
What surprised you most about this year's results?
Share your thoughts.
Yeah.
Because the beauty of football lies in the shared experiences and the passionate discussions it sparks.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the 2024 Ballon d'Or.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning,
Yeah.
and keep the love of football burning bright.
Yeah.
You know what?
What's that?
We covered the men's award,
Yeah.
the women's award,
Mm-hmm.
the young players, the goalkeepers, even the coaches,
Yep.
but we completely missed 2 other awards.
Oh, you're right.
The Club of the Year awards.
We did.
It's easy to get caught up in all the individual awards
Yeah.
and the drama of the night.
And the boy tots.
Exactly. So
Right.
for the men's Club of the Year,
Okay.
we've got Man City
The Champions League winners.
going up against Real Madrid.
Who won La Liga in the Copa del Rey.
And then there's Inter Milan.
Who had a strong showing in Serie A
Yeah.
and reached the Champions League final.
Right.
But the real surprise here
Yeah.
is Girona.
Girona.
Wow, right?
That's unexpected.
Their inclusion is a real testament to their remarkable season.
They had a great year.
They might not have won a major trophy,
Right.
but their consistent performance and their ability to challenge the big clubs
Yeah.
really caught the attention of the voters.
I think it's a great reminder
Yeah,
that football is about more than just silverware.
absolutely. It's about passion. It's about exceeding expectations.
Yeah.
And it's about proving that even smaller clubs can compete at the highest level.
For sure.
Now, on the women's side,
Okay.
we've got a battle between some true powerhouses.
Like who?
Barcelona.
Okay.
The Champions League winners are up against Wolfsburg, who dominated the Frauen Bundesliga, and Chelsea,
Okay.
who triumphed in the Women's Super League.
Wow, what a matchup.
A clash of styles,
For sure.
a showcase of incredible talent.
Absolutely.
Each of these teams has a unique identity
Yeah.
and a winning mentality.
It's going to be fascinating to see who comes out on top.
It is.
Yeah.
As we wrap up this deep dive
Okay.
into the 2024 Ballon d'Or,
Right.
what's the one big takeaway you want our listeners to walk away with?
I think the biggest takeaway is that football is a constantly evolving story.
It is.
New stars are rising,
Mhm.
old powers are being challenged,
Yeah,
and the conversation about what defines greatness
right.
is more complex than ever.
I agree.
The Ballon d'Or is more than just a trophy.
It's a reflection of the passion,
Yeah.
the drama,
Yeah.
and the ever-changing landscape of this beautiful game.
And this year's award's been a perfect example of that.
They have, from surprise winners
Yeah.
to controversial boycotts.
Yeah.
We've seen it all.
We have.
But that's what makes football so captivating, isn't it?
It is.
The unpredictability, the debates, and the shared love of the sport
For sure.
that unites fans around the world.
It does.
Even though the ceremony is over,
Yeah.
the conversation continues.
It does. We want to hear from you, our listeners.
Yeah,
Who would you have chosen for the Ballon d'Or?
great.
What surprised you most about this year's results?
Share your thoughts.
The beauty of football lies in the shared experiences
It does.
and the passionate discussions it sparks.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the 2024 Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning,
Right.
and keep the love of football burning